on today talking about denitrification. This is what occurs when the soils are saturated or under an anaerobic condition. The bacteria, these denitrifying bacteria, flourish under these conditions, and they convert or break nitrate apart into N2 gas and nitrous oxide, and that evolves back into the atmosphere, representing both an environmental concern and an outright loss of nitrogen that would otherwise be there for the crop. The factors that influence the degree of N loss are obviously the number of days that the soil is saturated, the soil texture and drainage patterns, soil temperature, pH, organic matter, and crop root activity or crop growth stage would be a factor in that too. So obviously the longer soils remain saturated, the bigger problem we have, and that would mean your clay textured soils and poorly drained soils are most prone to increased losses. Lower soil pH tends to stop the denitrifying bacteria, so that means more of our soils that have proper pH, we're going to have denitrifying bacteria very active when the soils are saturated. High organic matter tends to support more biological activity by increasing the amount of soluble carbon in the rhizosphere to support the denitrifying bacteria. Crop roots can influence losses in two ways. They can either provide more of that carbon substrate to keep the bacteria growing, or they can take up nitrate and transpire water and get more air into the soil and reduce the denitrification loss. So plants do complicate the situation a little bit depending on growth stage and time of the year. So this chart here is how we can estimate denitrification losses. So you see soil temperature in one column and a daily estimate of loss in percent. So the first thing you have to determine is just how much of the nitrogen you applied is in the nitrate form, and we've covered that in other videos. So let's just assume here we put on 180 actual N, soil temperature 65, and we're saturated for 7 days. So we take the 180 of N, 65 Fahrenheit soil temperature, we're looking at 4 to 5% daily loss, so we'll do 4.5%. We're going to multiply by 6 days because it takes 1 full day to start the process of denitrification. So that's just 6 days. So that estimates just around a 48 to 49 pound loss of nitrogen from those conditions. So this is a way we can actually look at some estimation of what's happened based on some of the environmental conditions. So going forward, obviously denitrification losses are very weather and field dependent. Often field characteristics or conditions that are conducive to support denitrification also support leaching losses in some parts of the field. So the losses, expected losses might be higher than anticipated. Long-term mitigation, of course, is planning for better field drainage. Split applying the nitrogen, just so you're not leaving all of your N out there exposed to any one environmental condition, is a good strategy. And of course, you've heard me talk about this before, using nitrogen stabilizers to delay the nitrification process as long as we possibly can and keep that nitrogen around a little longer to meet the crop demands later in the season. So back at you tomorrow, 2 more videos, and we'll wrap up nitrogen. So stay safe and stay healthy.